Okay, you guys, we are back with another banging video, and it's game on. I got my rapper chain on, and it's game on. I got my chain on, and it's game on. I got my rapper chain on, and it's game on. I got my chain on. Okay, so in this video, we're gonna talk about Nicki Minaj, okay? So she had a little sit down with Katie Miller on Katie Miller podcast. I have no idea who Katie Miller is, absolutely none. But I'm gonna look and tell you who Katie Miller is in a bit, and we're going to talk about Nicki, because you know what is so unfortunate is the fact that when she said this the first time, many people didn't get what she said, and I'm wondering what is going on with the internet, and I'm very concerned. Now, as you guys remember, you know, for the past couple of months, Nicki has been getting a lot of backlash, and people have been calling her homophobic. And I've been saying to you guys that Nicki is not homophobic, because remember that Nicki alter ego was Roman, a gay boy. Roman. Remember Roman? So I'm saying to you, ain't no way she could be homophobic. But what people are doing, they're twisting her words, because she said no kids. She was dragging Gavin Newsom, right? And she was saying no kids should be getting gender therapy, gender treatment, because when they do, they are more likely to commit suicide. She's saying their frontal lobe hasn't developed, and because when your frontal lobe isn't developed, it means that you're not at that stage of maturity to truly understand the ins and outs of what you're doing, and if this is something that you really want, and after they get it, then they have huge regrets getting it. I told you guys this is what she was saying. And when people said, oh, Caribbean people support Trump, I said, it's not that they love Trump, but Trump is the only one who stood up and said, no gender therapy for kids. Biological men should not be taking part in women's sports. And that is what Caribbean people love about Trump. Nothing more. Absolutely nothing more. But let's take a look at this clip together, shall we, of Nicki having her sit down with Katie Miller, explaining what she actually said once again, and then I'll get back with the rest of my commentary.
Breast implants, you're not going to want them to have any kind of surgery, because we all know.
What is some of the policies in California, given you've spent a lot of time there, that makes you think Gavin Newsom is Gavin Newsom? Is it the mass amount of illegal immigration and tax dollars being spent for legal and healthcare? Is it the failure to rebuild homes in the Palisades? Is it just pro-trans ideology and pushing that on kids in schools? What stands out the most to you?
And I'm glad you asked that, because I want to make it clear. I personally don't have an issue with the trans part of the LGBT at all. I am the biggest advocate for adults being able to do whatever the heck they want to do. They're adults. I don't care. I only mentioned something because when it comes to children, I wouldn't even allow my 17-year-old daughter to get breast implants. Neither, like, and most 99% of the parents would not let their 17-year-old child get breast implants. So if you wouldn't let a child get breast implants, you're not going to want them to have any kind of surgery, because we all know the brain is not developed, and we've heard about 19 times more likely to commit suicide. What more do you need to know? That a child is 19 times more likely to commit suicide if they have a surgery before they're an adult? So I just wanted to make that clear, because, you know, of course, I don't judge, you know, adults with, you know, they can do whatever they want. With Newsom, it's the fact that with everything you said, but then having the audacity to be playing on Twitter, obsessed with Trump, trying to be Trump, trying to be funny when it's not, and then wanting to roll around in the mud with female rappers or whomever and completely missing the plot. We would never want someone like that to be our president. Americans are so big on loyalty, and that just showed us all you do not have a loyal bone in your body, and no one is going to vote for you.
Okay, guys, so we got all of it. Sorry that I had to do the replay. I'm looking up Katie Miller is the host of Katie Miller podcast. She podcast and the wife of Stephen Miller, a senior political aide closely associated with Donald Trump. I knew it. I knew there was some association with politics and some association with Trump. But the focus of this video is Nicki Minaj clarifying for those who have gotten her initial statement wrong. And I don't see how people got that wrong. And I think Don Lemon also contributed to people getting her statement wrong because she called Don Lemon a de-esser. And many people, and you know, they're saying she's racist and all of that. That really doesn't make any sense. Nicki Minaj is not a racist individual. Nicki Minaj has been so kind, so caring, so loving, so thoughtful to all the communities, and to see the backlash against her because she has chosen a political side, one that many people don't align with. And I understand that politics causes division, and that is why many people don't talk about politics. Many people don't talk about religion. They don't talk about sport because it's always causing some kind of division. And some people don't want to deal with that, you know? So some people, they will keep it quiet and you'll never know what are their political views, their political agenda, because they don't want to upset anyone. They don't want to hurt anyone. And I know that the Trump administration does not align with a lot of people, especially because so much is going on, for example, with how people are being deported. For many people, it is not the deportation process that upsets them. It is just the fact that they see where so many people, legal rights are being taken away from them. So many people are just being deported, even those who are waiting on appeals, those who have put in their documents. Some people have their paperwork going and they're not given any opportunity. But I've been watching some videos on TikTok and it seems as though, you know, people being an advocate, people speaking out is causing some changes to that as it relates to those who have appealed, those who have already put in paperwork. I do see people saying that they're getting through, they're getting response. It doesn't work the same for everyone, only for some. But I understand the emotions of many people who are hurt and many people who are upset because some people, they know no other country besides the United States. That's where they were born. They know that their parents is from another country, but because their parents was an illegal migrant and some parents, whether they never had the money or what the case may be, they have made it bad for their kids. So as such, I understand this is a huge heartbreak for a lot of people, and it's really heavy for a lot of people because a lot of families are being torn apart. Kids are being held basically at ransom for their parents to show up. And just imagine the fear of those kids being held in detention centers. So I understand both sides of the political spectrum, and it's really to observe everything that's going on and to take in everything. It really has you twisted because you're looking at it and you're saying people should be treated better. People deserves better treatment, but at the same time, there's another group of American over there saying they were never able to get benefit of their tax dollars, and people are coming in getting benefit of their tax dollars. And that is true. And when you hear them saying that, you feel for them, you empathize with them, and you would want that change for them. And you would want the change for the people who are getting deported, who have been born in America, the people who have been there so long, they were able to buy a house, they were able to buy a car, they were able to go to work, and that has all been disrupted, taken away from them, and they have to go to a country that they left when they were a couple months old, a couple weeks old, a couple years old. It's not something that they're familiar with. It is so new to them. And some of these countries are extremely dangerous. Some of these countries are not safe for many of these people because these people fled under threatening circumstances. So with these people going back to their countries, they're literally going back to their deaths. And when there's no care, no cause or concern given to them, it's going to outrage a lot of people. And I believe that that is completely natural for people to feel outraged and want to put an end to something like that. So I understand both sides of the political pole, and I do hope that something changes. I do hope something changes, but I don't think that change will take effect not until everyone steps out peacefully, join hands and hearts together and say, put an end to this. And should you deport people, let's do it the right way. This behavior is inhumane, knocking out people's windshield, shooting at people in their cars, disarming people, taking their weapons, and that once that person is no longer a threat, you put a gun to their heads and you still pull that trigger, killing an innocent individual, all because of their freedom of expression, and that freedom of expression is immediately taken away from them. It is horrific to see, and it's sad to see that people are not outraged by the killings of those people. It's just a handful of people who I see who are outraged, and I think everyone should be outraged by it. Black, pink, purple, white, or blue, there should be no segregation at this point, because whatever is happening, it's going to affect not one, but every single American citizen. And as such, I would encourage you guys to join hands and hearts together and stand up, unite, stand up, speak out for justice, and just effect change. If you guys don't stand together, you won't be able to effect the change that you need. There should be no separation, no segregation of the sort. And that's all I have to share in this video with you guys. Peace.